And what is up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Hope you guys are doing well. Shocked there's a show tonight, but yeah, no show last night. Got home and it was just I was done. It's like absolutely toasted. Today was just as bad, but did leave a little bit early. Title of the stream says it all. Just yeah, I wanted to get away early today. Tomorrow's going to be bad. Uh, Probably there might not be a show tomorrow. I'm going to warn you guys now. It's just getting stupidly busy. We expected one truck in this morning. We got two. Took most of the day to check it in, get stuff ready for the shows. We're going to be prepping for the next 5, 6 weeks. Uh, yeah, it is what it is, guys. Looking at like two or three more trucks tomorrow. Definitely one Sunday. So probably no shows this weekend. It's gonna next few weeks are gonna be tough, but I will do my best to make sure, or when I can do a show, I will. So yeah. That being said, we left off Monday night. What 2 hours 10 minutes into GoPro Night 2 and Women's. What's up, TM? How you doing? So we're gonna get back on this, kind of see where we're at. Then we're gonna gauge it from there. We've got 2 hours 7 minutes left in this. Probably won't do that tonight. We're gonna get as close as we can. But that being said, hope you guys are doing well. My back is jacked, so you can see me. You're gonna see me moving a lot tonight. My back is sore. Getting old for all that lifting, but all good. And that's us over in, I think, execution. But after we finish this video, it's going to be a hot minute before we get to another video. Just be warned. Just be warned. I might be able to turn this brightness down just a hair. Okay, that'll do. Not as bright. This is real quick. Hopefully we can get a few people in here tonight. I think that'd be good. If not, it's going to be a relaxing night on video. So what's good, TM? Anything new? Anything exciting in the past 48 hours? Nothing here but work. Nothing here but work. I will say, today, up until about an hour ago, like 40 and 50 mile an hour winds. It's been chilly. It got overcast. It got chilly today. Opened that back door to the warehouse to go outside for a minute. It was like, nope. Close the door right back. It's like, I think I'll just stay inside. A big spider as big as a cup with thick legs. Thick, hairy legs. Not furry. Okay. Just a big ass spider. Those are always the fun ones, ain't they? It's like, yeah. I'm not going to hurt him because his name is Bob. And Bob eats all the little insects in the house. He lives under the bed in the corner and he doesn't come out very often. That's why it's like, yeah, you see a spider in the house. He's keeping away the other insects, generally. So it's like, yeah, I usually leave the spiders alone. Just kind of chase them back into a little cubby and kind of just let them be. So if I had to move to remove that, at that point it's like, dude, just get a squirt bottle and just he'll go away. Missed his ass. Unless he's one of those spiders that likes the water and just you get to put it on spray instead of stream, and he's just sitting there like it's a freaking shower. Fucking spiders. And I can't believe I just said that. Yeah, they know we can't reach them. They're probably back there going, motherfucker, you can't get me. I got a freaking shoe I'm going to chuck at you. I'll get you. The spider's just like, nope. That's why you kind of see the front legs moving. That's their way of just flipping you off saying, do it, bitch. Throw that shoe at me. It's in the kitchen, so you'll damage more than just a spider. Well, take the good with the bad, right? Scared of the spider and only crawl over the food to eat. Spiders generally don't bother me. Generally. Uh, the last time a spider really bothered me was, I think I was like 18. We had I worked for a gaming supply house, and we got our sales flyers in from our Chicago office. So, I'm opening up the box, uh, and I see this little ball of like lint. I mean, it was less than a dime, size of a dime. I'm going, this looks weird to be in a box full of flyers. So I reached down and grabbed a stack of flyers, to flip it off into the trash, and this fucking thing unfurled, and it was bigger than my freaking hand. This freaking spider was balled up, like I said, the size of a dime. It came out and it was bigger than this, and it was like, holy shit. Secretary sees it. She goes running out of the office. So I basically closed the box up, freaking run outside like this, holding the box, and I kind of tipped it over, and I dumped it in the bushes. Spider runs off. I got the flyers back and went back inside. But that spider was, I mean, I got some big hands. And that thing was like that. It was like, Boss is laughing his ass off. He's like, Brent, what's wrong with you? Going, did you see the size of that frickin' spider? He's like, yeah, I did. It's like, surprise? Like I said, at that time, my boss was my best friend's dad. So I could get away with some stupid shit, but that was on the verge of not being stupid. Frickin' spiders. Yeah, though, WTF, exactly what I said at the time. What the fuck is that? It's like Flipper. It's like, nope, Brent don't deal with spiders. When I was a kid, I got bit by a spider, and my hand was completely just like bubbled up like that. I mean, my hand was like 3 times its normal size on the top. I don't know what bit me, but I didn't need any shots to cure it. It just swelling kind of went away after about a week. But if I went like this with my hand, it looked like a VW Beetle. It was like, yep. Excuse me, guys, I'm yawning. Ooh. One of the local ghost hunter worked with the internet fiber, and he's scared of spiders. So when he, yeah, it's not the best to be afraid of spiders when you do this in the dark, because as soon as you walk into a spider web, you turn into a freaking ninja. It's like, yep, not the best thing in the world. You're doing moves you wouldn't normally do, unless you were drunk on the dance floor. But like I said, I've gone into abandoned, with permission, of course, abandoned areas, and there's been cobwebs, there's been spiders, there's been just a whole plethora of live shit. You just kind of get used to it. But different. Spider in the daytime. At night, you just keep walking. During the day, it's like, do I squash it? Nah, just let him be. Bad thing about video, you can't jump. And this is where it's like, oh shit. This is the hard part. But I got to answer a work email, so I got to turn the camera off for a second. All right. God. Work never stops. And I'm not even on salary. I don't honestly think I could ever be on salary, to tell you the truth. TM, you and everybody else, bud. I've been in daylight and done the same thing. You kind of turn around, you're kind of walking, then you kind of turn around or make a turn. It's like, what? It's like, ugh. You know that spider sitting just above it going, all that work I put into this and you tear it down, you son of a bitch. Meanwhile, you're still there trying to claw it off your face. Not like you can just kind of ring it and string it back up for him. Spider's going, I fucking hate you. I'm going to bite you when the sun goes down. It's like, and that's kind of like when you go to some of these old abandoned areas, when people walk you through during the day before you do the investigation at night, you get an idea of where not to go, where the cobwebs are going to be, but you still do it in the day and the night. Because why? You don't think about it. The last thing you're thinking of is walking into freaking cobwebs. Yeah, the oil, when it sticks to you, it's like, that's what they catch their prey with. Feels weird to you, but you can move on it. Yeah, it's that whatever that residue is that they use. It's weird. I think we're to the foregone conclusion that if we're not in here investigating, we're probably not going to get evidence. And I've said that about this every area of the prison. Leaving static, I'm beginning to wonder. Still going to do it because we've gotten evidence from it, but it's just not working to our favor the past couple of investigations. First 3 were insanity. Last time, did we not get to where you got in the room? It was 210. As I remember, did the light go out? Yeah.
Did what? Alright, let's. So I got one.
You're right.
With a dead light.
Yeah, that did.
And I turned that on too. It's red, yeah. It's.
I mean, this is the spot where they do that. They love beating stuff up over here.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it for a split second.
That's right, because the light had gone off and we had just gotten to like 2.5 hours, or to 2 hours, and we said we'd do it on the next show. You're 100% right there, TM. So we wasted 20 minutes for no reason.
What's that?
I just said there's strings on there.
There we go. What's that?
That alarm was time for stuff. Never mind.
Agent at the table, and that's 2 bars still. 3 hours, 55 minutes. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna set this down here on one of the bars. Still in view of the GoPro. We're gonna come back here and do.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a
step
couple
away for
questions.
just a second.
All right. All right. No worries, just Chris. I got 2 GoPros just in case they're running. Did what? No, I just moved a chair. Okay. Yes, it is.
And so is Jack.
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Brent. I'm back for my 5th year here at the good old Nevada State Prison. If you do remember me, there's a box sitting down there on the second cell. Could you walk up and give it a little tap and it will light up like a Christmas tree, please?
What's that? I wonder if any ghost hunter turned the crime scene from the dead girl into content as they often do. I don't know. Maybe. That is a little bright. Let me turn that down.
I want to thank you guys. It's been interesting these past few years. Finally got to experience a couple things here in the prison that have been very humbling have been very humbling for me. You know, I got to go sit in the execution chamber to try to communicate with a few of the gentlemen in there. And Susan made me promise to come over here and speak to the ladies. Unfortunately, Susan wasn't feeling too well, so she had to go home. Tammy is out of town, and Michelle's taking care of some personal business, so none of the ladies will be here tonight. Kind of makes me sad that they won't be joining us. But if you are you at least happy to see me?
What's up, Edgar? Went to Alcatraz last week, didn't feel anything haunting.
I understand the women here. Some of
Sorry?
you would love to have your kids in here.
Was it at least fun?
Living with you. A lot of different things than the men got to deal with.
Just a hot spot for tourists. I've heard that a lot.
On 15 cells, that doesn't leave a lot of room for you. And you don't exactly have a good view out of the window.
Wait, they rerun their streams only to grind ads. That's not actually a bad idea. If I'm not doing a show, just
Now, I don't want to be disrespectful, but could one of you ladies please come forward and at least tell me what you did to get in here?
what I'd like to do is find a way to set random streams, is to randomly pick from my past shows and just play them at random. Just constantly do it. But I don't think you could do that. Have to mod it somehow. That's the problem. I don't have that ability right now.
I don't judge you for your crimes. I am not a vindictive man, and I think women should be treated a lot better. Honestly, the men should have been over here on this side, and you ladies should have gotten better cells, at least with a view of the mountains. A little inspiration for you. Just the exhale.
So at that point, there, Edgar,
Like I said, this is my fifth year here. It is definitely not my
pause this so don't interrupt any possible evidence. I've always thought, I didn't think it would not be worth it to investigate Alcatraz for the simple fact of what it costs. If it was cheaper, I'd fully consider it. But all in all, you're talking probably anywhere from $3 to $5 grand. Ain't worth it. Is not worth it.
final. For what I've experienced here tonight, it has given me the energy to want to come back several more times. Now, I might not come back 3 nights, like this year's only 2 nights, because a lot of my friends had to cancel. But next year, definitely 2 nights again. Thank you for that.
Very, yeah. How many people were in the tour,
Each and
though?
every time that I come here, you ladies and all the gentlemen make me feel very welcome. You've never done any harm to me, you've never done wrong. And I thank you for it. You've always welcomed me and made it feel like, I don't want to say it feel like home,
30 is a lot of people. Uh, you're not going to get any hot spots or any activity with 30 people. That's just oversaturation. Every investigation I've ever gone to, even tours, if there's over 10 or 12 people, you're really pushing the boundaries of oversaturating and risking no evidence at all. I've actually held training sessions at locations with 10 people, never got evidence, went back with 5, and had more evidence than I could count. So it also might be an oversaturation. Just a thought.
As I said, my friend Joe that came up here the past 2 years, he wasn't able to be here this year. He apologizes for it. He had got a new boss at work, which canceled his vacation and took away the ability to be here. Unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago, his father passed away, which really kind of took away from the plans of completely being here. Do you have any words of comfort for him, being that he lost his father? Could you come forward and say those words, please?
Yeah, type of bird that makes human screams. I believe that's a type of heron. I've I've heard those in Missouri. Sounds like a human scream. It does. It's like a blue heron or something. I forget the exact type, but I think it's in the heron family. And it is creepy.
Susan went and got a new tattoo tonight. She's going to be coming in to show you here, hopefully soon. She got a tattoo of a ghost with a cowboy hat. I want you to do the traditional thing is when she comes to show you, I want you to slap the tattoo. It's called setting the tattoo. And I want you to tell her that I told you it was okay. Nothing mean, just a light tap on the arm. Nothing mean, just a friendly little, maybe a little flick. Just to let her know that you see it. Would you do that for me, please? Tap that little box on the bars.
Not getting anything on the eddy. That's strange. There's only a couple spots we're gonna have to
Susan,
check.
Tammy, and Michelle have been very good to me over these past few years. They've always let me in to speak with you. They've always gone above and
Pause this. Uh, what's the theory on EVPs? Like, how are they able to come through? Uh, it's a good question, Edgar. That's a really good question. That is one for the ages since we've been able to record sound. I believe that EVPs are on a different frequency that the human ear can pick up, and recording it, because the recorders do pick up on certain frequency and certain sound levels, and picking that up allows us to hear it later. I believe it's on a different frequency, and that's like with children and animals. They see and hear stuff that we don't, because their ears haven't developed like ours have through the years. Same with our eyes. I don't want to tie time into it, saying as we grow older we kind of forget about it, but the theory is I think it's just beyond our range of hearing or a range of understanding. That's science playing it. Beyond that, I don't think I could give you a full, intelligent answer. I just believe on its different frequency levels, and we don't understand that until we die. I mean, that's either that or it's just our subconscious projecting the answers we want to hear. So that's also my theory for me. I don't know.
Beyond.
Kind of a hard thing to
You
answer.
know, like I said, because everybody canceled on coming here this year to speak with you, I was the sole person left to come here. And they still opened the doors for me to speak with you. So please, I want you to thank Susan for me. And tell her Brent said thank you.
So I've heard animals like dogs have very sensitive hearing, dogs and cats and horses. And I said, you walk into a room and an animal is just doing that at the wall. Are they seeing or hearing something that we're not? Absolutely. I think, like I said, it's on different wavelengths. And as we grow older, we lose that. So it's far beyond what we know. At least my belief. Is that a hay? No.
Yeah, that's Chris.
Just me.
Yeah, I heard you.
Like a hallucination hallway.
What's that?
That hallway?
Yeah.
You stare down there, lights start circling. It's crazy.
Just be moving the chair. Not really getting a lot here. No.
Sebastian, are you? That's weird. Sebastian,
I spoke with Lloyd, aka Professor Paranormal. You're not talking about Lloyd Auerbach, are you? EVPs are impossible as ghosts don't have vocal cords unless the spirit enters the recorder to manipulate it. I could get into that. Also, what if it's again subconscious projection? Spirits don't have vocal cords, but can they project the sounds of voice onto a recorder? And it falls under to one of mine. What if the paranormal is all bullshit? and we're subconsciously projecting that onto the recorder. That's the power of the human mind. If there is still some sort of physical being there and it's only energy, if it's energy, then it can project. It doesn't have to have vocal cords, but it can project that sound onto your recorders. Kind of like a telekinesis or a subconscious projection. You don't have to have physical vocal cords because that all also falls under the grounds of telepathy. You know, people can have conversations with, there's the old theory of conversation without speaking. That's being telepathic. So what if it's telepathically imprinted onto your recorder? There could also be that theory. So, yeah, I guess, maybe. It can manipulate it however it needs to. I guess we could maybe agree on that.
Because you have one in death row, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've read that somewhere before. It's starting to click a little bit. I think Lloyd Arbach did say that. Where two people just have the same mind.
So that's
Twins do it all the
changes
time.
pretty well
Identical twins do it all the time.
inside.
You can hear it. And the GoPro can hear it, but it is muffled because there's steel and glass, you know?
Yeah.
But it's muffled for sure. It's not like talking to a normal window.
I'm wondering if I got anything on EVPs. I'm sure I did.
Oh, probably. There's some strange painting too that I heard so many years.
I'm amazed you guys didn't see anything like my face changing or anything.
I didn't see none of that.
Have to wait and see when we go back through the video, huh?
Yeah?
Like from last year, I uploaded all. Off
Sorry about that. I had to look up that look that up real quick. Yeah, Professor Paranormal Lloyd Arbach. I've probably got 15, 20 of his books.
I did watch a bunch of those.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, ESP.
Sebastian.
Ex-
Are you here, bud?
extrasensory
6 to 10,
perception
Michelle,
or
I'm here tonight. You got myself and Chris. Could you give us a sign of your presence, please?
the first book.
Yeah.
And that's the crap I was.
The first book I bought when I got into the paranormal was Lloyd Arbach's Psychic Dreaming. Amazing freaking book.
Hearing at home.
Could you repeat that for us, please? I did
Did you
just.
hear that?
Yeah.
And that's the.
I did just.
Hear that?
Yeah.
And that's the crap I was hearing at home.
Could you repeat that for us, please? Now, when you left, I did hear a bang out of the far.
Now, I test all kinds of twins. They also have tests on ESP and psychic ability, and this was done by wasn't done by Lloyd Arbach. It was done by J.B. Rhine, I think, of the Rhine Institute, and his wife Louisa Rhine. I think it was J.B. Rhine that would test people's psychic abilities by putting them in different rooms on different sides of a building or in different cities and see if they could actually communicate. So ESP, absolutely. I have, I think, 3 or 4 books on that. And if you scroll down on the show's page there, I think there's actually a list of some of the books with ESP on it. So,
And I did see like the 3rd or 4th cell down, some kind of just. Maybe it was the
Shit.
moving light here, which I'm thinking that's what.
Jack just fell off the chair.
That's, you know,
Kind of just. Sebastian, if you are here, if you don't want to come forward and say something, could you make a big noise for us, please?
So you guys know what games we play, right? Don't be shy. Why don't you take your baton and run it down the bars like you did the other day with the girls?
Chris has a good point. If you are one of the guards, remaining in here.
Yeah, they were. I remember
down
that.
for us. I've never heard it.
Lloyd Arbach even has a book on that mentions that, if I remember right. It's actually one of the books I don't have.
Do any of you ladies have any special requests? You heard that.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Thank you for that. You heard that.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Thank you for that.
Generally don't hear those.
Can you do that again?
And make it louder, please.
My scalp is itching. Weather's changing. It's getting drier.
Yeah. Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
I've got recorders all over, so it'll pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. What's that pain?
Eddie hasn't gone off once, and that's actually surprising. Usually it goes off at least once.
What do you do with it? What happened to the record? Did
Didn't you set one up in
the one I was carrying.
bars? Did you put one on the bars?
Yeah, the one I was carrying, my H4. What did I do with it? Did I leave it over because you're worried about something happening to us, could you make another loud noise for us, please?
Is that traffic?
Yeah, that's traffic.
We're getting none of it, it's a voice.
I think they're not answering because we have too much light in there.
So one downside about this prison, I pick up every
Wish there were more
motorcycle.
paranormal documentaries. Yes, I agree. I wish there were more things on parapsychology. You know, once you start diving into documentaries, you're gonna have so much people conflicting each other, and I think that's a bad thing.
Hey Sebastian, I have a camera over.
Too many people. I'm pausing this for a second. Too many people think that their way is right. There's no for sure's in the paranormal. You know, you take everybody's theories and conclusions and tests and applications and everything they do and compare them to others and form something based on that and then use that. Use conclusions from other people, combine them, and make your own. Eventually, people are going to be like, wait, I had something like this. Where'd you come up with that? Well, you posted something down. This person B said something conflicting. I put them together and came up with this. And then somebody's going to take what I said and compare it to something somebody else said from something they both heard, put that all together, and come up with something that's going to help us even more. And I hope to God someday somebody takes what I've done and turns it into something better. You know, that's... Do I want to be remembered in the paranormal? Yes and no. More no than yes. I want people just to learn from what I've done and make it better. I mean...
Over in Death Row, or next door. Can you go over and turn it off for me, please? It'll beep 3 times really loud. Could you do that for me, please?
Yeah, TM, I learned to debunk that early on. Your 4 biggest culprits for EMF in a household. And I've talked it's been a long time since I brought this one up, and I'm glad you did, TM. So some found out that the fridge and other electric emit EMF. They used to say there was a ghost. Okay. Your fridge, your thermostat, your alarm clock, and your plugged-in cell phone. There's your 4 biggest EMF culprits in your household. And I tell people, if I'm going to investigate your house, turn off the AC, turn off the unit altogether. Unplug your alarm clocks and turn off your cell phone. I can't ask you to unplug the fridge because you'll spoil food. But you can reset a clock. You know, and you can turn off the thermostat. It for 2 hours is not going to kill you. I've seen a lot of groups do that. When I first started in the field, the second team I joined, Vegas Valley Paranormal, my predecessor, my teacher, his name was Barry Barry, taught me a lot about EMF. Brent, watch out for this, watch out for this, watch out for this. All right. And he explained why. Doing an investigation, and I was like, this, and he goes, you see it spiking. Look where you're standing. Right on the other side of the kitchen where the fridge was. Right on the other side of the wall where the thermostat was. Right next to the nightstand where the alarm clock is. Meters are doing this. So you learn really quick to debunk that. Other teams don't want it. They want famous because they found paranormal. When it was a large EMF field. You know, prolonged EMF causes medical problems. One being hallucinations. People think those hallucinations are paranormal. They're not. They're from EMF poisoning. So we won't go into that too much tonight because that could be a show by itself. The more you learn the limit of equipment, the more you know what to sort out for the other reason. Exactly. Or just don't use that equipment. If you know how to read your own body, you don't need an EMF detector. Watch the hairs on your arm, the hairs on the back of your neck, the chills little chills.
So why are you guys not partying right now? You guys know you want to talk.
Your body is your best tool if you know how to read it.
John, are you around? Are you still messing with my house? Oh, I just got the worst headache of all time.
Excuse me.
Or like you said,
Why I'm yawning so much.
Piercing between my eyes.
Human experience is the best equipment.
Okay, Mr. Gray.
Yes. And like I said, I was taught that from the beginning.
Ni hao?
Let's go back on that. I was talking.
Or like you said,
Yeah, it's piercing between my eyes. Okay, Mr. Gray.
Gee, that's not nice, bud. Ni hao? Chris does a good job about keeping this prison up and running, keeping things clean. Not nice to attack him when he's doing this for you guys.
You just trying to get my attention? Because I made you come back here?
TM, the body is the worst because the brain is good at making logic of everything, even if it's not the truth. That's why there's so many optical illusion arts. You can train your brain, and we've talked about environmental matrixing on this show many times. I've witnessed environmental matrixing at its finest on investigations without cameras. You train your mind how to focus and take off the blinders. If you know how to fully observe your environment, I'm trying to think how to word this in a semi-professional manner. If you know how to observe your natural environment, you notice the trees, the reflection, the light, the vibration. You can tune your body into a very unique tool. You can actually walk up, put your hand on something, and feel the vibration from it. And you could feel the energy and almost read it. It's taken me a lot of years to be able to do that. Like I said, August 1st will be 17 years. It took me about 12 or 13 to be able to fully read shit. And I'm still not good at it, but also you can feel cold. You're scared of the blood rush out of the skin. Yeah. Corgi, what's up, Korg? How you feeling, bud? Considering being on crutches. And then you teach your body to feel those cold spots, the warm spots, not peeing in the pool. I mean, you really learn to read that. If you walk into a room and the heat's on and you walk directly into a cold spot, you check the vents. You check the draft. You check everything before you figure paranormal. And if it's in an area where there's no draft, yeah, you want to start investigating. You're using your body as a human thermometer, and you know something's going to happen. So yeah, You just got to be able to decipher what's right and wrong.
If you are here, I do have a question for you. Are you still angry that your friend got away scot-free because he had a better attorney than you? Does that upset you? Could you give us a sign, please?
Logic first, everything else is paranormal. Which is about 5% or less. How much shit we've debunked on here.
Yeah, it is.
It's dead quiet in here.
Yeah, it is.
And you guys have seen how aggravated I get when I have to debunk something. It's like, fuck, something else that's not paranormal. But like I said, I'd rather debunk it than give fake evidence.
Down there that will pick up all the bangs.
Yeah.
Fell down the steps this morning, broke your left leg, and sprained the right one. Jesus, Corgi.
Why are you guys messing with Chris?
They're normal. MO.
You are not having a good run, bud. Broke your left leg and severely sprained the right one. So you're going to be laid up for what, 3 months? Ish? Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Was that you?
No.
All right, Guy, thank you. That was good.
Yes, thank you for that.
That was
Broke
loud.
your ass. Did you break your tailbone?
That sounded like it came from Death Row.
Did. Oh, yeah, I was thinking we should go there.
Get out of there.
There it is again.
Fucking Jack.
That could be Susie coming back with it.
Broke. Oh. So
That's a
you
lot of footsteps.
Yeah, that was a lot of shit.
not going to be able to sleep on your side, sleep on your stomach, sleep on your back. You're
That's really loud over there.
Do it again, please.
I just heard no.
this little asshole needs to behave.
Guys.
He's being a jerk right now. Jack is in
If you
trouble.
want us to come over to Death Row to speak to you, please slam one of those doors.
Do we need a kiss, bud?
We'll be more than happy to come talk to you. Was that you?
No. If you want us to come over there and speak with you, you have my word we will come over there if you can make another loud noise for us.
I know what a giant pain in the ass. No, you are a pain in the ass right now. I'm just saying. If you're going to be literal about it. Yeah, you're right. At least you admit it.
You scared us. You guys scared of us? Man, it's interesting. It is super dark outside.
Really?
There's no light. It is jet black outside.
Wow, okay.
Who's in death row over there?
6 weeks for the cast. Still. You're looking at about 8 weeks for that tailbone before it fully stops hurting.
Is that banging coming from over an execution? Could you give us another loud knock, please?
That's worse than a broken leg, bud. I've only bruised my tailbone, and that sucked.
I'm seeing some matrixing. Like the bars are waving.
Right.
I don't know
When I
if
got up the stairs and I was just looking down the hallway, it seemed like the light down there at the window
Mm-hmm.
started spinning like a kaleidoscope.
Could that be Happy Bands?
It could be, dude, because we get so much activity in the hallway. Don't we? You guys love this and all this in the hallway.
If you want us to come over to the hallway, give us 2 knocks, please. Motorcycle.
Banging down the hallway.
There's 1 knock.
She gave you perks. Nice. That should knock you out.
What, can you not count?
I'm gonna do this once for you. That's 1. That's 2.
Showing them the difference between 1 and 2. That's a smart ass move.
Whoever made that noise, if you had over a 10-year prison sentence in here, could you give us a loud bang, please?
Are you Blob? Blob, where are you at? We need some action from you, Blob.
Is
I know you're creeping around here somewhere. Blob, where are you at? Are you Blob? Blob, where are you at? We need some action from you, Blob.
yeah, I've actually read that book.
You're creeping around here somewhere.
Pause this real quick. If you could find the book, it's like $1,000. It's ridiculous. The original. I have actually experienced phone calls from the dead. Do I believe in it? I didn't used to. I did not used to believe in it. About 6 years ago, I was at the Clown Motel in Tonopah, the haunted Clown Motel. And I think I've talked about this here on the show. Impossible, TM. For what was said, it was impossible. We're investigating the clown. It's about 1 a.m. So the manager of the hotel is here with us. She loved us. I mean, we investigated it several times, so she wanted to hang out. It's like the phone rings. She goes, "Guys, go ahead and answer it." It's like, and it's like Clown Motel, and I forget the name they asked for. It was like, and I looked at, I forget her name. It's like they're asking for. She's like, "No." It was like, nope, nobody here by that name. It's like, who are you trying to reach? It's like they said a thrift store, the name of a store. And it's like, no, ma'am, no. She was like, it was, no, sir, this is a Clown Motel. And it's like, and they asked for the name again. It's like, no, nobody here by that name. Sorry. It's like, okay, thank you. And they hung up. And the manager, it wasn't a wrong number, TM. I'm getting to that. Don't debunk this because you can't. And it's like, she was like, okay, do you want to know what's going on? It's like, wait, what are you talking about? She goes, the person they asked for is dead. It's like, what do you mean? It's like that building, the business they're calling for has not existed in 30 years. Edgar, this was the thing. There was no static. It was a phone call like I'm talking to you guys. The business had been gone from those grounds where the hotel stands for over 30 years. The person who they were asking for had been dead 20 years. So there's no way that they called a business that had been gone. TM, that's impossible. 30 years? There's no logical way. And to ask for somebody that had been dead for that long, there's no way. There is no statistical way on that. Even the lady at the hotel is like, they've been dead for decades. That freaking business hasn't existed for longer. It's like, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, that used to stand on the grounds of the hotel. And this is in Tonopah, Nevada. So it's like, TM, please don't try to debunk this, dude. You can't. Even the owner of the clown said there's no way to disprove this one. And back 30 years previously, with that many people that move in and out of the area, it probably didn't even have the same address, same location. So it's somebody that had been dead for 30 years. Who's going to keep a number for 30 years? Think about that. Who has the same phone number or same business for 30 years? You're going to know in 30 years if it closes. You're going to know if that person's alive or dead. If you're a living person, you're going to know if that person's alive or dead. You're not going to wait 30 years to call them or call that business. Especially in a small town like Tonopah, where everybody knows each other. So phone calls from the dead, I fully believe in it. It's electronic. It's an electric signal. And Matt, Edgar, you're not far off. Background usually a static and a short message, but asking for two things, then hanging up. That's just odd. Because if they would have wanted to know more, if it would have been a live person, they would have asked more. It's like, there's nobody here by that name. Not, they're dead. You know, it was like I said, you usually don't say shit like that. It's like, wait, this business, this person? No, is it debatable? Yes, but just the way it happened at 2 a.m. And again, 1, 2 a.m, are you going to call a business, a legitimate business at that time at 1 a.m? No. Small town like that, everything closes at like 7 p.m. You're not going to call it 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You're going to wait till the next business day. And that's the other part that you really get you. You're calling a store at 1 a.m. in a town of less than a couple thousand people. Creepy, but the phenomenon has been occurring since phones were invented. Yes. Yes, Edgar. It goes back, what, 115, 120 years at least? 120 years, you figure? All it is an electrical signal. Spirits use energy to communicate, and that's what's in those lines. And sometimes the phones are not even hooked up. Yeah. Those old crank phones. I've heard stories of those old crank phones ringing at random times, and it's not even hooked up. So phone calls from the dead, absolutely. And TM, I'd look it up. Read articles on phone calls from the dead. It'll shock the shit out of you. bullshit.
So we've got the blob in here, the creeper up in D block, happy pants in the hallway. What else is there?
Scott Rogo and Raymond Bayless. I have their books. I have their books, Edgar.
I'm only here for 2 nights this year.
And I think...
You guys gotta make it memorable for me. Please.
Let me pause this. We're going to be ending in a couple minutes anyway. Phone Calls from the Dead, I think was by Raymond Bayless, wasn't it? Or was it Scott? And Scott Rogo, if I remember, was... correct me if I'm wrong and I apologize. Wasn't Scott Rogo murdered? One of the parapsychologists, one of the writers, was actually murdered in his house and it was never solved. They thought it was his wife or something and it was never solved. And he had been doing books on, yes, it was Scott Rogo that was murdered. I knew I remembered. It's been years since I researched that. Or it's been about 5 years. So yeah, they found him dead in his home. They couldn't prove anything. It's one of those unsolved mysteries. Then that raises a question. If you get too close to the truth about some of this stuff that we as paranormal researchers get into, or was it just a random act of violence? Because if I remember, there was nothing. There was nothing taken from his home and nothing out of the ordinary. He was just murdered. So think about that one. It's, if you get too close to the truth on anything, is it possible? Yeah. Some mysteries of the universe are better left unsolved. And that's why I throw my disclaimer out there. What if the paranormal is all bullshit? What if it's all subconscious projections? You know, I try to think as Scott Rogo, Raymond Bayless, JD or JB and Louisa Rhine, Lloyd Arbach. You read on research all of them and study them, and they all kind of circle and come back into the same conclusions. And it's weird sometimes. You're like, wait a minute. Parapsychology, ESP, RSPK, was it retroactive psychokinesis or something? The power of the human mind is amazing. And when we die, does that energy become intensified and our energy become infinite? Entirely possible. So I'm going to leave you guys with that thought for the night. Edgar, TM, Corgi, anybody else lurking in the shadows, I truly, truly thank you guys for being here tonight. I had a great time. Unfortunately, we didn't get any evidence. I got a couple markers we need to look through. We'll finish up the video on the next show. So again, I thank you guys. Have a great night. God bless, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks again.